Hey everybody, and welcome back to Pros versus Joes. We have been busy little bees the last 2 days. $1.4 million currently in the bank. Just flipped a couple fields of grass. This field we have plowed up and planted in grass and just got the first cut off of it. Now we are fertilizing it back. Get our 2 stages of fertilization, and we're plowing up a giant square over there to plant that in oats and grass. I'll split that, another oat crop out of there to boost our raw levels. Hey, Kendall, Paul, Simulated Fight, General Smith, and Oreo Dip. How is everyone doing tonight? Thanks for the sub, Personal Apple VR. Got a busy night for you. We've got 4 pros on the server so far. We've got Raznik, Darren, JFK shot first, and myself. Once I get done spreading our digestate, I think I'm going to start sell some silage bales down at the digester. And then we're going to, talk about mowing the grass up on the hill and down by the cow farm. Hey, Dieselhead, Dirty Tractor, Golden Eye. How's everybody doing tonight? Well, Oreo Dip, we're using hardly any mods at all. The whole goal is to use base game equipment and DLCs only. The only exception is some script-based mods and some placeable mods that basically are good for server etiquette, like bale buildings, mixing placeables, guidance steering enabled, mostly so people don't go crazy. But you're buying cows.
I got some loads, and then I'm gonna fill this back up.
All right, I got a pass and a half, and then I can do
10-4.
fancy technique.
Put a couple more loads in, and then I'll leave it here for you. Are you live?
We are live.
Hello! Just
You don't want to do your intro?
that's your channel, man.
I already did my intro.
Maybe one day when I have real internet, I can stream at the same time. Maybe I can do mine on Twitch, and then you can do yours on YouTube, and then watch at the same time.
Oh, you're going to be one of those cool Twitch streamers with the gems and the weird emotes that make no sense and all those other cool Twitchy things.
I think so. And then I'm going to do my pre-recorded stuff on YouTube.
Oh, you'll be hip.
And then anytime I post a video, at the end of the video, it'll tell everybody that I'm live streaming. And then maybe they'll come over and watch that too. See? Thinking.
Wow. Amazing. What are the Joes doing? Well, let me finish this pass so we don't waste our digestate.
Of course, that's all if I ever get internet. You know. Oh, I didn't tell you, my road is closed to my house. It's like I have to drive like 15 miles around.
Did it not get
'cause-
enough traffic, so they just closed it? Not worth the
well,
maintenance?
there was like this creek, just like
Why
like a
is that, dirty
culvert that
tractor?
went through it. Well, apparently the culvert washed out, and instead of putting in like another big culvert and covering it, they decided they're going to build a little bridge. But it's going to take 4 to 6 months to build a little 10-foot span bridge.
Well, that's nice. You're going to get a bridge. Well, maybe the bridge is required for the fiber.
I doubt it. But yeah, we'll see.
So I did learn that anytime you have to cross a railroad crossing, that is incredibly expensive. Because we have a horse farm that I had to get internet out to, and there were two paths to the horse farm, one of which required a railroad crossing, and basically all of the providers were like, yeah, we're not going to go that way because that's incredibly expensive, and we got to deal with the railroad company to get right away and have them approve our engineering drawings for going underneath the railroad tracks. So yeah, we're not going to do that. I never really could understand Twitch.
I live between two interstates, and I wonder if that's why it's always never really been good internet out here.
Well, I tell you, there's probably major pipelines running beside the interstate. That's where the big fiber pipes usually put. So you probably have massive amounts of fiber and bandwidth
Yeah.
right next to your house, but no one's willing to tap into it.
Yep.
That's what they call long haul fiber. Idlebeard is in favor of the bridge, so that way there's trolls.
Yeah. Every bridge needs a good troll.
Now, if they had master builder putting the bridge down, they would know. Put the deck first, and then you excavate out underneath of it. So the Joes are, well, they're doing a combination of grass farming and traditional farming. They definitely have pigs. They have cows. Go over here. And we put our spy satellite up here in the sky. You think they have bale sheds. Got, looks like possibly 2 mixing buildings. They might have a silo. They've got a couple greenhouses over there. They've got VGA and multiple storage tanks. And then they've got 3 fields here in grass. Plowing over there. That field is, and then they've got 2 other fields here. Take a look at their land. They started the challenge with these 8 plots mirrored over here. And they've subsequently bought these 6 plots of land. They are obviously plowing, fertilizing, toggle grass. They've got grass in these 6, grass down here. This is something that they're
I'm hoping
cultivating
with
up.
these new, chipsets and graphics cards and all that stuff, I can maybe upgrade on the cheap here this fall. see.
Well, I don't know about NVIDIA chipsets or graphics cards getting any cheaper. They don't seem to discount their cards when a new model comes out. I mean, find a 1080 Ti in the store, it's probably still $900 worth.
True. I might look for like a good 20 series.
You could Craigslist or eBay if you're willing to trust them. Lots of people that are ditching their 2000 series, 3000 series cards they can't buy.
I was looking on like PC Part Picker, and I'm pretty sure I can get a 2000 series for under $400.
What would that be? A 2060, 2070?
I think that was the 2060 Super. I remember right. And then for chip, I have a Ryzen 5 right now, and I can buy a Ryzen 7 for $249 or something like that, which is an 8-core, because my 5 is a 6-core 12-thread, and then I think then the 7's an 8-core. Or do I spend another couple $100 and get the Ryzen 9, which is bigger, badder?
Well, yeah. When I did my upgrades, I basically said, well, let's upgrade to something that should hopefully be good for at least 3 years, not longer. Be able to kind of upgrade pieces and parts. So I kind of went a little whole hog with the 3900X.
See, that's what I'm thinking. I might just do like just a little upgrade. Like I said, go from the 1660 to like a 20 series, and then upgrade my chipset just a little bit. And then when I'm done with, in a couple years, I'll probably just rebuild a whole new computer.
Yeah, so I mean, the big thing is figure out what to watch the announcement or read about the announcement that they're doing on Thursday. 5000 series AMDs. Sounds like the rumors are that they're going to sync the numbering system, the mobile chips, desktop chips. Current gen desktop chips are 3000. Current gen mobile chips are 4,000. So that can drive some market confusion. People are thinking, well, am I getting an older gen desktop chip compared to the AMD laptops? So I think what they're doing is model parity there. So we'll see. I mean, there's some late benchmarks that seem to claim massive, like 25 to 30% performance boost, all on the same general product class. So like the 3600 to the 5600, see up to maybe a 30% boost in performance. Typically that's within the same price class too. But if they require a different motherboard, then that's obviously a different investment. And what's the availability on them going to be versus 5900X comes out? What's that going to do to the price of the 3900? 3900 isn't suddenly going to be slower. Not suddenly going to lose cores. It's still 12 core, 24 thread. 4 gigahertz ish, which is massive for multi-threaded stuff. But comparatively, it'll be slower than a 5900X, probably 5 gigahertz. Get it relatively on the cheap. And then 27th, AMD is announcing their graphics card line. Big Navi. So there's speculation as to where that'll fall, as far as performance-wise, compared to the 3000 series NVIDIAs. And we know that the NVIDIA 3070 is supposedly on performance with the 2080 Ti at less than half the price.
Yeah, because what's the MSRP on that one? Is it like $500, $600?
$499. So people that, people that are picked off are the people that bought a 2080 Ti like a month ago, 2 months ago, $1,200, and then find out at the announcement that $500 graphics card is going to have that equivalent of performance. And it's like, well, you bought a card, you knew NVIDIA was making an announcement. It's always a gamble. So, but that card, 3070, was going to be released in like a week and a half. Now, it's going to be released a day after the AMD announcement. NVIDIA is claiming that they are so sorry that availability has been so difficult with the 3080 and 3090s. They're going to push the release date back 2 weeks to allow suppliers and board partners to get more cards out to the retail channels so that more people will be able to buy them on release day. That's a great PR statement. But there's some people that are wondering, rumor milling, and kind of armchair quarterbacking, that do they maybe have some spy information as to what they think the AMD prices are, where the AMD performance is going to be, and are they pushing it back to some AMD and basically say, the day after the announcement, oh, we're releasing a 3070, but we're going to make it $399 instead. Because, based on, let's say, an AMD announcement that they're going to have some $399 card that performs close to the 3070. So there's speculation there. Like, maybe you shouldn't pre-order a darn thing.
Yeah, until everybody's done with their announcements.
Wait till everyone's playing poker. Maybe you want to wait until everyone's shown their hand before you go all in.
Hey, JFK, see if you need to repair that tractor. You're kind of crawling along there.
Probably.
I got it. There you go.
Black magic green.
Repair from the shop.
Oh, totally forgot about that. I'm driving up to the shop every time. Hey, Nathaniel Lee.
It's kind of worrying me.
Scooter's Workbench.
I haven't been doing that.
It's like, did I break another rule?
Yeah, is there some bylaw that somebody's thinking up?
I've just been going left shop every time I need to repair stuff.
No, honestly, I thought maybe you got a discount or something. I thought, oops.
Here's workbench. What are you talking about? Did I miss somebody asking a question?
It'd be interesting to see what all this turns out. New cards.
What kind of graphics card does it have, Nathaniel? Oh, okay. Well, I just saw a, just watched a video where a guy did a review on a keyboard that, was pulling at 4,000 hertz. 4,000.
More load for now.
I think the fastest gaming keyboard to date was like, 1,000.
That mixer's kind of slow.
I had a guy comment that instead of baling, we should just put the GPX mixer down because it does 8,000 liters of silage an hour. Pick up a lot more silage in an hour with the bales. Use a loading wagon to dump grass in that and then wait for it to. Hey, Cat Dragon, how you doing? Well, I know on my old laptop I couldn't run 19 with the integrated graphics. Could run 17 on low, but I couldn't run 19 at all. Oh, is you, Grizz? That's okay. We didn't know we couldn't use trailers either for a little while. I don't know if it's far quicker than bales. I mean, take a look here.
Darren, if you get to a point where you
Biogas income.
catch up with him plowing, you can
732,000.
planting oats and what you put lime on.
512,000. 342. We
Yes,
should have
sir.
another 300,000 to 400,000 when we go to tomorrow.
Just suggestions, of course.
Yeah, I think if you got a 1660 and a 2600,
Yeah.
you know, I think your best bang for buck is going to be to skip a generation and go
Like a Ryzen 9.
either whatever the Intel or whatever the AMD Navi card is, or 37.
I got a NVIDIA card with my AMD, and I don't know. I like NVIDIA card. I used my old computer had an AMD card.
Well, even with the current gen, AMD's typically slower with their top of the line graphics compared to NVIDIA, but they're typically priced a lot lower. So
Well,
it's price to performance, they're probably about comparable. You know, you spend the same amount of money, you're probably going to get about the same amount of performance.
but I mean, if that, like you said, if that 3070 is only $399, $499, it's not a bad deal.
An announced $499. Curious folk are wondering if maybe it's going to not stay there. Aren't ulterior motives to this two-week delay? And some marketing guy like dreamt up this story. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's good for the consumer. Let's use that story. Explain why we're not announcing it or releasing it when everybody wants it. Now we did put in the PMR mixer on the other side of the greenhouses. Well, we got the fast bale from the Vicon pack. So the worst thing about wrapping is obviously having to make another pass through the field to stop and unload the wrapper. Or if you use typically the combo wrappers, having to stop and unload constantly. Fast bale.
You mowing all the way up the top, Klein?
No, everything that can be mowed. Yeah. Because I mean, even though you get technically less, if you mow it right away, you're going to mow more. So it's like the idea with seasons. Wait until full growth. You'll technically get more, but you're only going to have so many full growth cuts, or you might be able to get more second growth.
That and then just sitting idle costs you money too, because you're paying money for all this stuff, not using it.
Yeah. And the other day I thought about, well, last night there really wasn't a lot to do. I thought, should I just buy a plot of land just for the sake of having fresh grass to cut? And I thought, well, I dumped that money in the land, but then, you know, later on, we really aren't idle and we end up having land that just sits there because we can't get to it, then it's wasted money because we can't sell the land once we buy it. Oh,
Very true.
we've easily had hundreds of bales. I mean, I've had 9 loads
I think
on
we're
that
getting
bale
to where we're
trailer.
getting close to being.
24 times 9.
I think if we start having idle moments, though, it might be worth, because it's only 85,000 for another plot. I mean, what are you talking? Like 2 cuts of the silage bales, and you've paid for it.
Probably less than 1. And we got probably 400 to 450 bales off of this grass we baled today. You and me baled this morning and sold. Aaron sold. And then what we're selling right now. Silage bales that we sold. Darren sold And you bailed and everything this morning. Brought us 300 some grand. Have another 300 some grand tomorrow for what we're running through the digester now, let alone what we run through it with the grass that you're cutting. I'm getting ready to jump on the baler. Start baling right behind you. Hey, Will, what's up? How is West Coast? Is that the name of it? Well, we'll just leave it there. Drop that off. Let's clean up our cows. Top them off with water. And then we'll get to baling. All right, we should have a tractor. This is the one I wanted. The Fiat's nice, but it's so slow. So if you don't have the Vicon Cooverland DLC, this is worth the DLC in my mind all by itself. Non-stop baling, wrapping. This is deposit those marshmallow eggs back there. This is plowed ground. I plowed this up yesterday.
I should have installed bale counter. But we could track how many freaking bales we bale.
A lot.
Thousands before this is over with. Probably tens of thousands before this is over with.
And then I'm going to go to the Alpine Farming map and do a big cow farm. I don't know. It might
You
not
do-
bail. It might not bail because I gotta use those little scrawny bale wagons, right? Or
Yeah.
forage wagons. And that deadly mower, spiked wheels, and the sickle bar in front with no protection. Just cut your leg off. Yeah, that's fun. Growing up, our parents would let you play with that. Yeah, go out there and mow the grass with that thing. Didn't think it's a second about it. Now CPS would come and try to take your kids away. Bad parent.
Watched a Millennial Farmer's video today. His dad is hurt and can't work, so he's got his 10-year-old son running the grain cart.
On the map it.
So I'm like, that's, it's good. It's great for that kid,
Oh, was that his video? I saw a thumbnail and a title about a 10-year-old running a grain cart. I never looked to see who made it. I know, not one bale falls apart, not one busted string. Video what? I have to say, AMD for CPUs, just amazing. What they're doing, their price point.
Yep.
I picked up an AMD laptop, handed down the 5-year-old 2-in-1 that I bought. Oldest, who was more than ecstatic to have a 2-in-1 laptop. Her high school stuff. She gave a temporary laptop down to his first grade work, and that's a 4800H, I think, 8-core 16-thread laptop processor. Crazy.
Have integrated graphics, or is it?
Got both. So the AMD chip has got integrated Ryzen, which it does okay, but it also has a 2060.
Okay.
So it runs FarmSim, excellent.
Yeah, my little potato laptop, I can't even remember what brand it is, Lenovo or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I use when I'm sitting at work. I play FS17 on it.
Yeah, my old
that thing
2-in-1. The old 2-in-1 would play 17 on low. It had just integrated Intel graphics.
Mine will run it on medium, and I get like 45 FPS. It's integrated AMD graphics on it. I can run 19, but it struggles.
So there's a tech tuber that did a bit on a recent Intel announcement. He basically was talking about Intel releases an AMD CPU because basically, during the Intel announcement about their new mobile chip, they explicitly named their mobile chip once. And they named AMD's CPU like 15 times during their press release announcement. And it's like, what are you doing? Why are you giving so much free press to your competitor by naming their product? But all you ever do mention your product is like, the 10th gen Intel mobile chip. You explicitly call out their CPU, the exact model. Like, what am I watching a press release for? Intel or AMD? He's like, look at NVIDIA. When NVIDIA does a press announcement about their graphics cards, they don't mention a bit about AMD's graphics cards because it's their press release. So they're not going to talk about anybody else other than themselves. In mobile, like as in on iPad or Android, Farm Sim 20 is the mobile game. So typically the mobile game is even numbered. The odd numbers is the
Yeah, looking back when I built this one, I went with a B450 motherboard. I probably should have went with the... Is it the 570? I can't remember what AMD's new was. The one... I can't remember. I should have went up the next gen. That's what I should have done. Then again, I can just loan this to... I can just hand this down to the kids, build a new one.
Right. 450 is a good chipset back then. It was a good bang for the buck.
Yeah, I was kind of playing around on Part Picker, and it gave me a warning when I went with the Ryzen 9 that I might have to update my BIOS, but that was the only warning I got.
Yeah, depending on when the card or when the board was made, the BIOS might not know about that chip. And in that case, you have to use your chip. Boot the system up for the first time, and then upgrade the BIOS. Then you can take your chip out, put the 9 in, and then it should recognize it.
Got it. That's what it says. It says you may have to use a chipset that is recognizable to update the BIOS. That's all it says. So I'd assume that's what it was. It said I have to use my current
what's up?
configuration to update it and then switch out.
FS19 is for PC only and console. FS
See, but I built
20
this in
is mobile, as in
early
iPhone,
2019.
Android.
So, a year and a half now. So, pretty sure the Ryzen 9s were out. But then again, like you said, it's when they built the board.
Or the 9 that you were looking at.
Yeah.
I don't
Is
remember.
is the yellow and red on the diff lock, is that on or off?
So red is... Yellow is on for the differential lock, and then red is four-wheel drive is on. Remember.
Does that really have bearing in the game as in fuel consumption?
Don't think so.
I just leave it go.
Yeah.
I never really change it.
Not without other mods, Darren. I think it, like, if you start getting into like the REA,
Hey, Ramboy J,
like,
what's
really
up?
increases the
Rambo J?
realism physics and stuff, then you really have to pay attention to it. But if you just start slipping, just turn it on. That's what I do.
Will says hi to everybody.
Hey, Will. You know, if you would connect to the internet, you could be on Team Pros, buddy.
Up here on the field, up here on the hill, we can just out over the phone. I think we do have a round bale down in the woods somewhere. I was cutting through and I found a round bale just lying in.
Let's fish it out.
Didn't really make sense because the only time we made round bales is with this. We didn't make round hay bale. It must be a straw bale. It's down there somewhere in the.
It makes sense because you guys pulled the straw off from up here.
Oh, goody. I take it at some point in time we're going to have to swap out our sheds.
Just the hay shed, because the straw one's already set up around. So yeah, just the one hay shed. So when it gets empty, I'll switch it out, or whoever's on can sell it, put down the round.
We don't. I don't know much about cricket.
Oh, I got a new, pretty good sci-fi book, Klein.
Oh, what is it?
We are Legion, we are Bob. It's pretty funny. It's pretty good. Pretty much the premise is a software developer, a wealthy software developer, gets his head frozen in the event that he dies, so that they can reanimate him later when technology gets advanced. But when he gets reanimated as a space probe. He's like the artificial intelligence inside a space probe. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that would be pretty depressing.
Well, he's a Von Mime. I can't think of the name.
They really don't
but
air cricket over here.
A theoretical probe that can self-replicate.
I have to say that I
So
really
he
haven't
has like 3D
really ever seen it.
printers and all different kinds of stuff, and he can kind of replicate himself. So there's different, and that's why it's called We Are Legion, We Are Bob. It's because there's eventually the idea is to have thousands and thousands of these Bob space probes all over the universe. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's an audiobook, Will, on Audible.
But it won like a 2016 Sci-Fi Book of the Year, and I was like, oh, I'll check it out. And it's entertaining. It's funny. It's got a lot of science in it. It's pretty good.
Simulated flight.
The narrator's good.
The mower that he's using is from the Vicon, same Vicon DLC. So I get lined up here, I'll pull it up on the shop. So it's the same Vicon DLC.
And it's a series. I think there's like 6 books, maybe 8. I can't remember.
It's this front mower, this back mower, and the back mower has windrowers on the back right here. And basically you can configure it to
Nobody's about to run out of gas, are
widespread.
they?
I filled everything up today.
And my case is getting. I got like a quarter of the tank left.
So you can do it to widespread. You can windrow left, windrow right, or you can windrow center. I just finished offshoot of the Skippy books.
The Mavericks.
The Maverick books? Yeah. So last one I listened to, Free Fall.
I haven't listened to any of those.
So there's no Skippy, no dramatic relief like that, but from time to time, like, the narrator talks about AI. Well, some AI, and it's like, well, the AI could have done this, but it wasn't really explicitly programmed to do that. And it was kind of curious about these humans that it's heard about. So, it's like the AI is like, we'll just let this play out. I could have killed them like as soon as they invaded, but I'm kind of curious about them, so let's just see how this all works. Plus the people that programmed me were kind of assholes, so I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, he does that with like the missiles. I love it when
Yeah,
like they deploy missiles and the missiles are like
best day and the last day of my life.
Yes, best day and the last day of my life.
Yeah, it's like missiles are. There was a couple segments where they were talking about missiles in it. One was like, I'm gonna get there before you, and the other two missiles were like, yeah, but you're just an overachiever. Everything. That missile gets there first, he gets fried by a laser, and the other two missiles are thinking, well, that surely showed him. All these AIs having personalities. Thermal Forever says that you are mowing most excellently.
It's not. It's the software. I just let the satellites do all the work. But thank you.
I did just start most recent Skippy book. Picks up after he skips town. But I haven't got very far into that.
Oh, so you're a couple behind on that.
I don't know. I don't have my phone down here.
And I'm horrible with the names of books. So.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to gird myself up to join the book club with you guys, because I read everything like Jack Reacher, everything military and murder and all that good stuff.
Paper books? Didn't you hear they're going out of style? And the trees are gone.
No, you guys got all these fancy laptops. I run around with just a Kindle Fire.
Oh. I listen to everything on my phone.
Mine.
Bluetooth to the car. Yeah, now there's a series I've talked about before. I don't remember the name at the moment, but it's as realistic as I would think space combat would be with ships, where it takes into factor time delays and communication delays with respect to trying to do like configuration, like when you're in hell it is.
A lock on.
No, like when you're in formation, it's like, you change formation, then you got a whole bunch of these spaceships in formation. And like you might be like in a naval battle, you might be in a certain formation to protect your carrier or whatever, on the inside. You've got all your other ships kind of in a specific arrangement outside of that. But in theory, you're moving in the same way, same speed, and when you change direction, theoretically you all change direction at the same time. But in space combat, your ships are so far apart, you can't give an order and say, everyone, do this, because the ships would move at different times based on how close they were to you. So the guys basically, the admiral of the fleet is basically giving commands, but instead of saying everyone change heading, he's basically, at this point in time, do this action, and then at this other point in time, do this other action. So that then the all the orders can get spread out however long it takes, and everyone can make their moves at the same point in time using the same frame of reference, which is typically the star plane that the planets orbit in, because it seems like, I guess, orbital dynamics forces planets to always orbit on the same plane. Like, you don't have planets orbiting at weird, like atoms will rotate around a nucleus, typically in different planes. But in solar system, planets always seem to orbit around the sun or the star on a flat plane. Like if you're above the plane, then you're up. Below the plane is down, or whatever. And of course, they talk about, you see your opponent, but they're so many light hours away, which means that you're probably not going to be, in fighting distance to them for like 3 days. So, everyone's moving in formation toward each other for 3 days, or an engagement envelope of like microseconds. So it all comes down to the computers actually aiming and shooting, because everyone's moving so fast in different directions that the actual time that you're within range is just, okay, we're in range, and then you're gone. And now it takes hours to get turned back around for a second pass. It's going to take probably days to approach.
I can't remember the name of the book. They called it the glancing. It's similar. Like, actually, most naval battles, there was only just shots fired one time, and then it was over. And that was kind of the premise. Is it took days to come into contact with the enemy, and then in a matter of seconds, everything was decided. It was pretty cool. But I just remember they called it the glancing.
GoldenEye wants to know what a Kindale is. Fancy tablet and a chisel.
You like books like that, Jack Reacher and stuff, Darren? You ever heard of J. Robert Kennedy, the author?
Yep.
Yeah, I've listened to some of his stuff. It's pretty good. Does like him and like Dan Brown. Like, similar.
You get tired of plowing JFK, you could haul bales.
I can mow he can mow. I'll plow.
Get really close to the road. I want to finish this.
Okay,
It's like, I will not quit.
I will finish this.
I'm in drone view. He's not close to that road. I see about an hour.
Maybe it's relative to when you started.
Yeah.
Hey, Jillian Moore, what's up? How is it down in South America? Plowing setup, well, it's nothing great. We have a Voltra here, the S, and Lemkin Titan. That is the plowing setup. And basically, once we're done plowing, both of those pieces of implements are going to be going back to the shop, because we really don't have much need for them here anymore on the farm. Since this challenge does require we lease every piece of machinery. If it's sitting here on the farm, then we're paying for it
I always
daily.
thought that Expeditionary Force with Skippy would make a good TV series.
Oh, it would. It would. I remember the first book. Got partway through, and it was like, oh gosh, this book is boring
Yep.
and dry. And like, I'll give it another hour and see. I'll finish this book out, but I'm definitely not. And then he finds Skippy, and then it's like, oh, this is a completely different book, completely different series now.
The two of them together is what makes the book the best.
Oh, it's not that bad, James. At least we know we're not plowing the whole map. James says we must have a death wish for plowing on no man's land. I guess plowing up mines. Maybe that's what he's. Not just plowing endless fields. Maybe the theory that no man's land would have a bunch of mines.
If I remember right, this no man's land is actually a real place between France and Spain, I think.
Yeah,
If I remember, yeah.
that's what earlier Jim was saying. His inspiration ultimately being 2.
It has nothing to do with like World War I no man's land. It was more like an agricultural designation or something like that. I googled it.
Yeah, it was fun. He was talking the other day about. He originally had the idea after he did Mercury Farms conversion, and then he started working on it. And he did Sussex. And he started working on it. He did something else. Then he kept working on it, and then And I think I would be, if I did maps, I would probably be a little disheartened by how little players of the game end up putting on any one given map. Someone that might spend several hundred hours, possibly 1,000+ hours making a map, months on end, putting time in, and then the average player might spend 10 to 50 hours on it and then jump the next thing. There will be folks that'll put tons of hours on something, really get involved in it. I think the vast majority is like, I'll play the latest map on the mod hub, and then the next latest map will come out, and then I just do.
Yeah, and I think that's why this is a little different in its approach, because it's more of a platform than a map, I guess. I think that's what he captured with it.
How would you do that, GoldenEye? Would you change out the trees and just make the ground more dirt,
Same with,
more red?
South Island. With, I mean, you kind of have a lot of freedom to just do what you want.
Yeah, when the only thing that's permanently built into the map is the map border and floor. Animal cell point.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't even care if, like, people made a map like this that had maybe a more detailed town, with the cell points and that kind of stuff built in, but just leave the actual farms just completely blank. Or even make them just old and falling apart where you have to sell off everything and rebuild it.
Well, in 23 days, we'll see what people are building, won't we?
Yeah. I like the building part of the game. It's fun. I really hope Giants makes that better.
Well, I hear we're going to get more details about the map, the alpine farming. I don't know any details. I hear we're going to get more.
I'd say there's probably a new feature because was it Estancia that had when it released in 17 and the bushes you could plow under? Just kind of new for Giants maps at the time.
Yeah, that's it. Washoe. So he went from Sussex to Washoe, Nevada, and then to this. And between each of those maps, he was also working on this off and on.
Some neat little new features or something different.
Well, over the weekend, I put in the ambassador channels. I put a request in, basically saying I think folks would be interested in like a series of fact sheets on the map, not so much on the equipment. 4 different loading wagons is nice. I don't know if I really need to spend a lot of time understanding the stats of each loading wagon. But having, a couple fact sheets about the map, number of cell points, number of farms, and there's going to be new farm buildings or other things. Farm tours, map tours, just more than just driving around the town and things. And they came back and said that they did have something like that planned. We got 5 weeks.
Yeah. Yep. I plan on playing it. I'm not going to play it with season. I'm just going to play it. Play it, try everything out.
Hear my horn? That wasn't it. You're gonna make me bail uphill?
Well, kind of. Yeah, I guess I did do that. It was the rock formation that changed my direction. I can fix it. Yeah, now we'll do it this way.
James, they probably already are. I would say that they're probably whiteboarding. They've probably been whiteboarding the next version for a while now. There probably are coders working on changes. I would say probably the model makers and map design will probably be picking that up once they send the final build of the
I want to jump in my truck
farming
and get
expansion.
straight out again. A rubber band, and I turned it off and jumped out of it. Now I can walk around normal, but every time I get in the tractor, it just wants to go in reverse 100 miles an hour.
You got it, Klein, or you need...
Have it to go. I just hit Alt C. Turn off guidance steering. Works.
All right, cool. Thanks for the tip. I didn't know that.
Yes. So... I don't know what happens to me sometimes where you just can't do anything. It locks into its cores. Software malfunctions.
It'll be interesting to see how the trees are. You know, they talk about different trees. We know we have different grass foliage. Be interesting. Maybe we'll have different foliage textures for other crops. We haven't really talked about that at all.
Yeah, I've been playing Farm Sim 17 at work.
But I would like to see, you know, some different animal pins. Be interesting to see if maybe we have some different animal pins.
What map you playing?
I have been playing Estancia La Pacha lately. Because I get pretty good frame rates.
Did y'all see that Law Folds came out for 19?
Is there a map review coming out on that Lawford's? I kind of have a thing for Scotland, so I'd like to see what the thoughts are on that map.
I've been waiting on the tube of you to finish processing my video. Uploaded it at 3. And I sent it off to YouTube right before I took the kid to the park. That was around 3. And for the stream, it was still processing. So they must be backed up. If it's done processing after the stream, I'll release it. Still processing, then I guess I'll have to look into it in the morning. If you played it on 17, it's basically exactly like it was in 17.
Never played it, never looked at it. It
Okay.
just kind of got my interest, so you think a yay or a nay, or maybe.
They're biggish fields. Standard size map with biggish fields. Hedges, fences, walls have collisions. There's a cow farm. There's a pig farm, and then there's a sheep and chicken farm. 3 grain sell points on the map. The BGA is the old 17 BGA. Up at one of the sell points, there's a big grain storage silo, so you could do permanently built silos into one in the pig farm, one at the cow farm, and then over at one of the sell points, there's a big grain storage area where you can store grain over there. All the farms are permanently burnt into the map, so But he does have a sellable sleep trigger, so you can sell that and put it wherever you want. I would suggest selling it even if you keep the pig farm, because the way the sleep trigger is currently positioned, if you visit the sleep trigger, you are stuck inside the building. If he updates the map, he really needs to just rotate this trigger 90 degrees. And well, it's a nice map. I played it a lot in 17 before I did videos.
Yeah, my thought on it is any American map I play, I gotta go in G and make it my way. If I play something that's across the pond, I don't know the way they live, so I'll just play it the way it is and be happy. I think that'd be a cool thing to do.
I mean, you might like Six Ashes. I don't know if you like the home walled, although you might think that looks too American and you have to change it. Home walled might be too square fields. Six Ashes is decent. British map. Just from the map itself, I don't think you really pick up that it's Scottish. Other than the fact that there's hedges there and occasionally some fields have walls, stone walls. Really isn't much other than traffic on the wrong way to give you a sense of not being any other place.
All right, Raz, just tell me. What do you want me to do?
Oh,
One
I
more
was
path?
I didn't know if I couldn't remember the conversation. Did we say half or all?
I think part.
Part.
I'm just thinking about the expense to the harvesters. So the field up here on the upper hill, we got 2 of the Nova 330s, and it took us about an hour to harvest that field with 5 meter headers. And it was cheaper than a big single harvester with a 12 meter header. But you know, if we do that concept again, it's probably going to take us 2.5 to 3 hours to harvest that, even a part of that field. I have to splurge a bit more to go. Taking time.
All right, well, we have to figure we're getting straw. We can only hold 410 bales.
True, we can sell the rest of it too. Nothing saying we can't sell bales.
What do you think, part, Aaron? Think you got enough on there?
Yeah, I believe if the money's in grass, I better stop where I'm at.
Chaotic Car Audio says he wants to see more Let's Build videos.
Yeah, I'll make some. I'm focusing on winning the challenge right now. I'll make one this week, probably. Because I need to still work on that. 'Cause you said you wanted to play it, right, Clive?
Yeah. Maybe. You know, I don't know. The goal.
Tell car audio's listening. I'll probably make one tomorrow during the day.
That sounded like a plan to him before he spent a month on the map this month.
Well, this month is this, and then November is
Yep, I'm in the same boat.
is
He is,
alpine farming, and maybe that whatchamacallit Y20 map that came out right when the alpine farming map was announced. And that would put this, or playing the Let's Build map in December ish. Then who's to say what comes out this month in November that would be interesting in December? You know.
I
South
wanna
Mountain
play
Creamery.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
is that too.
yeah.
Pumpkin wrap.
Or if this West Coast is such an impressive feat of conversion, take trash and make it into amazement.
It's kind of harsh.
Oh, trash man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
East Coast. Oh my gosh, he's covering all the coasts. First we have Mid Coast, then we have East Coast, have Emerald Coast. I don't think he can do a Canadian map. I think that's already covered.
Well, because of that Pelosi, I'm gonna have to go in there and get rid of all the palm trees. I'm gonna have to go in the blender and figure out how to make poop and put it everywhere.
Don't forget the needles.
Yeah, the needles. We won't find any plastic straws there, but we'll find needles.
Justin is good with let's builds. He's thumb up in that.
No, I plan on it.
Chaotic Audio is trying to build a map with you. So he's trying to basically reproduce what you're doing. His game.
I will get back to it.
So it's like painting a Bob Ross painting while watching Bob Ross paint the painting.
He was good at finishing in 30 minutes. I just can't do that.
Well, I like when the tubers, they find their niche and they actually paint themselves into a box.
No, I've only got plans for like 4 or 5 more episodes for that. And I'm done.
I actually missed that one, that game I gifted you or whatever. That was freaking hilarious.
Oh, the Void Bastards.
Yeah, you gotta get back to stuff like that, have fun.
Yeah, there's just so much stuff.
Bet you we got another $300,000 of sales up off this upper section.
Probably. Yeah, I just got EA Play.
Oh look,
'Cause my kid wanted
Alien
to
Jim
play
put a heart on the map.
Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. So through the Origin launcher, I just paid $5 a month for their subscription. And there's like hundreds of games you can play. And some of them are really like Titanfall 2. There's all kinds of games I've never played, but I want to.
EA Play is now part of the Microsoft.
It's a separate fee. Right now.
Oh, I thought they were bringing it all
They might be eventually.
under one
but-
umbrella.
But right now, I pay Microsoft $5 a month. Origin or EA $5 a month. But really, I mean, the subscription service is a really good deal.
As long as you don't get pigeonholed into one game, I think. You get pigeonholed into one thing, and then it's $5 a month for one thing. 10 months later, it's $30 game.
Yep.
But yeah, if you bounce around and try everything, try different things. Feet thinks it's going to be part of Game Pass later this month. I know they talked about it when they were talking up the new Xbox.
Okay, we get some fuel. I just looked down.
So I ran the Ultra out of fuel, like 10 meters away from the fuel pump. I was like, I'm low on fuel. Finished the field. I was driving straight there, and I was just watching the fuel drop. Watching the fuel drop up to 0.3, 0.2, and then the engine cut off. I'm like, I wasn't out. So then I started slowing down. So then I disconnected whatever I had attached, hoping that I could roll a little bit further. Nope, came to a stop. Oh, he says November 10th. A month from now.
I'm not sure how much that chieftain, that gas thing we had to get for me, because I ran out of fuel. I don't know if leasing that sucker would be worth it. Just leave it on the farm if it hold enough, because that fills you up quick.
Oh, it would take forever to fill it the first time, but then it's like a quick route. Because it doesn't take slow refueling, doesn't affect it.
Not on that. Yeah, I just figured we'd park it there and let it fill up forever, and then go get it and sit at the farm.
That's fine with me. That doesn't bother me. Go for it. Because yeah, you're right. It's gonna take me like
5 minutes or 10. Yeah, well, the Vulture. You got the Vulture, right?
I guess the
Oh,
case.
okay. No, the Vulture is the big boy. You're sitting there for 10, 15 minutes. You're going through all the menu, windows, check more crops, animals. Come back, and you're still a quarter of a tank away.
What I did earlier today when I thought I would prep everybody was I drove one thing over there and I parked and I started refueling it. Then I jumped in a different tractor and did some other work until I saw it said, fuel expense. Then I drove that tractor over and started refilling it and drove the other one back. And so I was like collecting bales or doing something. Things were filling up. Yeah, it takes a while. All right, later, feet.
We're probably gonna get rid of the Vultra as soon as we're done putting in fields. You think?
I think so. There won't be a lot to do tomorrow because how much grass is cut. All the grass is cut other than what being plowed under. So tomorrow we shouldn't have any real grass available. So tomorrow will be a slow day unless someone wants to put time in and buy them. Yeah. Or tomorrow can be spent feeding these bales of maintenance. Probably Wednesday we'll have a bunch of grass.
So what do you think about sheep? Yay or nay?
We
don't have to buy any equipment. That's all I'm thinking. It's like we don't need anything else.
Hey.
There's grass road.
It's just grass bales, right?
Can I turn the wrapper off on this thing? Can't turn the wrapper off. So we'd have to have something else, or we'd have to have a...
Well, we make hay
Floating
every
wagon.
now and then. Remember, we make hay every now and then.
Yeah, we just have to burn through hay sooner.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. As long as we think we can
Keep up.
keep the wool pallets. Alien Jim wants sheep.
He does.
He wants them bad. I think he's got ulterior motives.
Okay. I'll probably put in some sheep tomorrow.
He wants sheep so bad he put a heart in over here by this rock formation. See that?
But we can put him just in charge of the sheep. Those can be his baby.
There's a heart over here by this rock formation. That's his love for the sheep. He's in shock and awe about being in charge of the sheep. I think he's saying, good, there's no seasons, sheep won't die.
I'm almost full. Been sitting here the whole time.
I thought that was you that had the fuel.
Yeah, I'll get it. Or if somebody gets bored, wants to sit here and fill up the...
I did see the competition for the fuel. On their farm.
on their farm.
I figure it's not that far.
It's not. And
I mean, we didn't build our farm halfway across the map.
let's see the leasing costs for the Thunder.
I was teasing them. I was like, did you all build it way over there because, like, normal view distance, like, it would be outside of view, you couldn't see it from here? Weren't banking on me having my view distance turned all the way up?
I wonder if I can start filling it and then disconnect from the trailer and then just leave it here.
All right, what'd you say to push when everything goes crazy? Alt C? Yeah, I did that, and I'm still flopping around.
Turn the engine.
I've done that, and I jump out of the tractor and run around. I get back in and still doing it.
Where you at? In
I'm
something?
moving now.
You're in my tractor.
Yeah, do we expand 52 to 51?
It's probably, if we do, I'd
Do
say
we
that's
figure
probably,
out what's flattest? Looking at a...
How you doing, JFK? You still awake? Gotta repair that thing yet? You still got another half an hour to go.
I have 9 more passes, I'll have you know.
It's counting them down.
oh, here comes the alien.
Grizz says if we go north, it's flatter.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it is. You gotta put in a bridge too. So
Bridge on the road. You said we can use the road on the bridge.
we can. We can put in our own bridges too. They're not that expensive.
We could just flatten the land that some crazy person ditched.
Yeah, we can do that.
He could accidentally log in his bank, accidentally go up there and flatten the land, and then accidentally log back out.
We could.
And accidentally get a picture of it.
Hello, hello.
Hope you had a safe flight.
do love this. Oh, look at this. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Brilliant.
But it settles down, right? It's what happens when the server's on the other side of the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Well, does Gizmo ever talk about rubber banding like that?
Jump on in, Jim. Hit Shift Z. You can ride with me.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. What's your driving like? Oh, wait, that's in it. Yeah, it's not that good, is it?
It's gotta be
Promise.
better.
Are you
I
sure?
promise. I won't put my hand on your leg or anything.
Shift C, not doing anything.
It's gotta be better than mine. I'm up here in the moat.
You got disconnected.
Did I?
It just said you left.
No! Oh no.
Nope. I'll have to sit
The
here.
joys, the fun. No, I don't want to start again. Come on, hello, wake up. Get me in now.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna take forever to fill this diesel tank.
Just tab out of it. Nothing.
I'm gonna come back to that later. We'll just.
Oh, I'm still rubber banding bad. Let me have a look.
Oh yeah, you must be having a good one because I'm hitting 73.
I got 30.
Low 20s. Oh no, he's left again.
Right. Who doesn't like me?
So
Right, hey, the point is, who likes me?
it might be what I would do is just log in and sit there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, right, I'll try it once more. Because it's not fair to everyone synchronising, being held up right in the middle of something. Why I try. Well, mind you, that could be a game in itself. Annoy everyone with synchronising.
That's the pro. That's the pro strategy against. Have all 5 people just rotate in and out.
All right, Farmer Klein, when you're allowed to, jump in my tractor, hook it up, turn it down this moat, and drive down to the shallow end and drive it sideways.
Okay.
Moat?
Well, I'm roughly around about 65 centimeters on your ping side, so I'm just going to stand here for I'm not going to move, I'm not going to sneeze, I'm not going to do anything except for breathe and talk.
Probably gonna want to unhook that and then back up to it sideways because you're not gonna walk this way.
I
Well,
gotta see
when you
this.
go down toward the bridge, it looks pretty narrow.
I gotta see this, and I'm recording it too. So.
Right, so we're going to get sheep, yeah? Sheep?
Yeah, we'll get some sheep.
I mean, I can pop in every few hours through the day, whatnot, just to make sure that the paddock area is clear. So we don't
My God,
lose any
it's a
time.
wreck right near the bridge.
Do I move?
The things you get into.
Yeah, I turned it off and I hit Alt C and it won't let me do anything but go forward.
Is it Sunday today? There's no traffic.
I wish it was Sunday because that meant tomorrow I had off again.
Oh, look at that. No pinging. Whee! Oh, rubber bandages. All forwards.
There you go. Hot air and everything.
Thank you, sir.
Here's workbench says helper A has a problem. Helper A is stuck.
Oof. Oh, look at them. Pink bales everywhere.
What?
Why pink?
Thought they were white.
No, they're pink.
Oh, seriously? They're white on my screen.
No, seriously?
He's,
Is that why we got pink bales?
Yeah, it's
No.
because he's
They're white.
colorblind.
They're white.
It's because he's colorblind.
Oh,
You've been wearing those glasses we got you, Corey.
Watch my stream. They say they're white.
I was trying to figure out why we got pink bales.
They're
Well,
now
I
white.
apologise. All right, yeah, no, pink bales is fine.
I always pick pink. Although they really don't look pink. They're kind of white.
It reminds me
Well,
of those
The
dinner
only
mints.
white bit is the sunspot that shines on it. That's it.
I didn't want to get white because that's what the
Okay,
competitors
really
have.
well.
And I didn't want the competitors saying that we were stealing their bales somehow. And then black was not going to be a good color for nighttime farming. Trying to find black bales in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Which I seem to.
I didn't want anybody confusing the bales for John Deere tractors. Having green.
I think it'd be fun if there was a mod that just randomly selected a color every time you wrap one. Just like a rainbow.
I did see a wrapper. Something got released where you like your wrap was like all of the colors possible in Farm Sim, like in the shop. You can have like a bright yellow. Or you can have blue or purple.
Right,
There you go. Apparently the black wrapping is not really a good thing. According to, is it Tom Pemberton Farms?
Overheat them?
No, the crows think they're... I can't remember. He explained it. Like the crows dig into them thinking that there's something under there they can eat, and they end up ruining the bales.
Only 3 more passes and I'll have all this baled up.
Excellent. I see somebody down there in our wheel or telehandler.
You spying on me? Stop it! Stop looking.
You know, we can see how good his skills are.
Oh, honestly, I
That
think
all,
if he's rubber banding and I'm rubber banding, you keep us away from those things.
Bale explosion.
Put him out in a tractor like way out in the far west somewhere.
Join the Joes. Get in a plow, say create fields, and rubber band all you want. So when you're on PC, do you play with a controller?
I mean, yeah, mostly yes. I do have a wheel and pedals and the side control unit, whatever you want to call that. But yeah, mostly just your Xbox One.
Because the Sony doesn't work. What I've heard.
Nah. I believe you can get a substitute one, but I don't know. If it works, it works. I don't know, just finding controllers a bit quicker and easier. I suppose what we used to do.
Yeah, I would spend more time staring at it, trying to figure out where the buttons are. What's this button do? Where's that one at again?
I feel with the steering wheel, I don't know, I feel a little bit limited.
I gotta be
I
honest,
guess.
I'm just too lazy to plug mine in.
The same thing. I have a steering wheel. It's right here. And I never plugged it in.
Mine's never unplugged.
Well, you got that fancy little chair set up deal.
Made out of wood. I got it free from a guy in Norfolk. To drive to Norfolk to pick it up, but it's free. Yeah, it's basically a home-built racing chair set up with wheel shelf and then a
Oh, nice.
monitor and
So I wouldn't mind one of those in front of my 50-inch TV. That'd be well, maybe a bit too much, maybe. Too in your face type of thing.
I bought one 3 months ago, a metal one. It's sitting in a box behind me. I can open it up, see if all the parts are there.
Yeah, build,
And by the time you do get it all set up, you'll try it out and go, no, I don't like it.
Most likely. I'll plug it, put it in the corner, and still be doing the keyboard and mouse.
So when you do your editing, Klein, do you sit in that driving chair?
yep.
Well, that's one way to do it.
See, I couldn't do that. Like, I would just, I don't know. I guess once you get used to it.
Whoa. Almost done the car there.
Well, when you're used to watching TV in a recliner, I guess it's the same thing. You never go to the couch.
Well, it's not really reclining. Sitting.
Ergonomic.
Sitting in a, almost like sitting in a cheap car seat. Well worn in at this point. So like right now, I've got my left hand on the wheel. I got my right hand on my trackpad, my mouse trackball, which is obviously the wheel loader camera. And then I got my left foot going between the gas and the brake. But like if I'm playing something that doesn't involve the wheel, I got the keyboard sitting on my lap. Don't tell I'm so fat that I don't have a lap. This will work.
I've seen those chairs that have like the swing arm, the keyboard kind of swing it in.
So you're just colorblind, not nearsighted.
I got contacts for that.
Oh, because me, if I sit too much farther back, man, I need binoculars to see the screen. I mean, the print, you know.
Hey. Just come on.
I have to talk to the map author. When we get to 80, it stops taking data. This is very well choreographed front loader work.
Oh,
Until
I'll get steering lag. What? Only two?
Yeah, my stack got all mixed up.
Do you know what? I tried to steer out the way, but the leg wouldn't have it. Yeah, he's going. He's not looking behind him.
Thought about telling Raz to get the telehandler that turns in the middle.
Oh, I hate that thing. An articulated thing. It's not a telehandler.
Yeah.
It's an abomination.
I use mouse and keyboard too, Grizz. Time to time. Well, one thing that we need to do tomorrow is when the bales are cleared off, we need to do digestate.
Yep.
But it's nice that mowing the grass gives you one cut, one layer, so it's just one application done.
It is handy. I think 52 would be a good field. It's fairly flat. It's not really not. Yeah, 52 would be good. The other team has a little more flat land to work with. So.
Yeah, but they're on the side where weird things happen.
Weird things, huh?
Yeah, just strange, weird things happen over there. It's like a bit like the new farming.
You know, we would really be pros if we could figure out a way to roll these bales down the hill, like right into the side point.
I told you how.
Yeah, with the... But like up here on the top, just kind of let them loose, see if how many hit.
That map, and they were talking and they're raising that little ramp area. They're all nice natural terrain, nothing, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, right there, Clyde. Just kind of punching the bale.
trying to get it in there with the bucket. Alright, no good. No joy. I'm gonna top these things off with water and food before I go to bed. And have free water or free money on the waste.
Jim, what time is it for you? Like 4 in the morning?
Yeah, pretty much almost full, yeah.
He just cracks open a monster and
What are you doing?
Yeah, that's, oh, speaking of which, thank you for reminding me.
Alien Jim, sponsored to you by Monster.
That was going to wind me up, that one track behind.
Man, he gets him by the case.
I do. I can't just go and buy like 1 or 2 cans. No. Be running over the road every 2 minutes.
Chris says that it's funny you should say that, Alien Jim, because the right side can be fun.
The right side being our side.
Hey, what's up,
Why do
Inu?
this person so slow?
I should have, like I was telling Farmer Klein, maybe I should have invited Daggerwind. Because all of a sudden he's playing multiplayer challenge.
How's Jim's fork work? If he just leaves it up in the air and hits X on that thing, or is that
Oh, it works the same. These greenhouses are
Probably
going
won't be around
to give
much
us
Thursday.
12,000 a day.
Kid has to have surgeries. Just oral surgery stuff. He's got a tooth in place.
This time it's an enhancement.
Yeah. It's really not the tooth, it's the hole in his chin that it made, his chin bone.
Oh,
So they have to go in and take the tooth out and then put a bone graft in it. So
Now, why would this bell sit right in the middle? Pinches.
there's the forks are on either side.
well, you got to come down and say congratulations to JFK. I think he's got one pass to go.
yeah, buddy.
I'm gonna make it.
You got this. Somebody get that man a beer.
He started at like 8.
He's been doing it for 3 hours.
Mostly just been jamming to the one radio station.
Is that in-game radio or something else?
Yeah, the Truckers FM. I like that one the best. Keeps me awake.
It's one of the first things I had to do was go in and turn the volume down, so if I accidentally turned it on, I didn't have copyrighted music during the
Yep. I listened to the 80s hair band music.
I didn't care, you know, me and YouTube. If I do one, I do one. It's nothing. I just left it on once for just crap to see what happens, and I got one video that the UK is not allowed to watch because of a song.
Oops.
Oh, that's desperately close.
How's the mixer doing over there? I don't think it needs any bales.
Oh, we got 12,500 mix. And all 3 are full. Hey, Thor, what's up?
I'm gonna put a stack of these over by the mixer, just to keep them there. Not really. God, we make this stuff so fast. It's like it's always there.
Yeah, make all you want. There'll be more tomorrow. Alright guys, so that is going to do us for the night. I'll be back on No Man's Land in the Pros versus Joe's Challenge on Wednesday. Probably taking tomorrow off as far as streaming goes.
Now, you were saying we won't need this lime spreader after tonight?
What do you guys think? You want to add one more field? Add 52?
I mean, if we're keeping it like I have one more pass to go, so I wasn't going to fill it up all the way if we were going to return it.
Yeah, just keep it for now.
Oh, where are you filling up the lime from?
Up there at your store.
We heard a birdie tell us that it's super cheap up there.
Yeah.
That's some big spout.
Yeah, it's just service charge.
Now, we might have to ask the almighty map author if there's things that we should definitely not buy.
Anything really. It's all got service charge. Apart from lime. Oh, lime does have service charge. But.
Seed and the fert are expensive, aren't they?
I really enjoy the realism of the gas.
Yeah, a little bit more than the finance, from the store.
Well, that's a mod. Yes.
Alright.
The gas being incredibly slow is a mod.
Yep.
So it's too realistic.
Same with the gas filling or being burned up so fast.
But I'll fill up that
All right.
fuel trailer.
As I said, till next time,
Just sit there and
happy farming.
ponder my life choices and